Chapter 37, Shit-stirrer. On a balcony in the casino, the middle-aged man and the manager sat together. The manager was pouring tea for him, appearing to be very respectful. The middle-aged man asked his man on patrol, "It's been 20 minutes, did that guy lose all of his money yet?" The guy responsible for keeping an eye on Su Cheng came over and said, "Master San, that guy's luck is really too incredible." This so-called Master San stopped sipping on his tea. "How much is he at right now?" "Already 10,000. "That's fine, it's difficult to turn 10,000 into 100,000. "Which table is he at?" 22, at the dice table. Master San placed down the teacup. "Get someone that knows how to play dice over." His underling nodded. On the other side, at table number 22, Su Cheng was still sitting there, but a dozen people were now standing behind him. Shen Yao was squeezed to the side. "Hey, stop pushing." The people who were squeezing around behind Su Cheng were all here to see his gambling skills. They would place their bets on whatever Su Cheng was betting on, because he had already guessed 7 rounds correctly consecutively. From the initial disdain to surprise, then shock, and lastly dumbfoundedness, Shen Yao felt like her analysis every time was so logical, yet Su Cheng wouldn't say anything and just bet against her. However, it also turned out that he was right every time. Every time Shen Yao chipped in a few sentences, her face would turn red from embarrassment after the result was revealed. And that middle-aged woman who had been following Su Cheng since round 3 just casually said, "He's already guessed right 7 times in a row." After this sentence, everyone around Su Cheng looked towards him with eyes of admiration, realizing that this guy wasn't simple. Just then, Shen Yao realized that there were already 10,000 yuan worth of chips by Su Cheng's arms. From 100 yuan to 10,000 yuan within 20 minutes, each time going all in. Just this alone, even if Su Cheng lost tonight, Shen Yao would still think that Su Cheng was amazing. She looked at Su Cheng concentrating, with his hands under his chin. She couldn't help but stare at Su Cheng's side profile, feeling that this guy was really unpredictable. Just then, the dealer suddenly said his stomach began hurting and that he needed to go to the washroom, and another dealer was brought in to take his place. The new guy sat down and smiled at Su Cheng. "It can be pure luck if you got it right 3 or 4 times in a row, but 7 times only means that you are a pro. Actually, not even a pro can do this, so I can't help but wonder if you are cheating. You guys are the ones shaking the cup, yet you claim that I'm cheating? Do you guys just not allow guests to win money?" Su Cheng faintly smiled. The dozens of gamblers immediately joined in and backed Su Cheng up. "Yeah, so what if he won 7 times in a row? Will you only be happy if we lose 7 times in a row? You guys are the ones doing the shaking. He just throws in money, his arms aren't even long enough to reach the cup. Tell us, how can he cheat?" The new dealer was actually just trying to make some small talk, but he immediately apologized after seeing that he became the target of everyone. "I was just joking around, let us continue." Su Cheng already saw through the guy and noticed that he did something to the cup while he diverted everyone's attention with the small talk. He didn't realize that Su Cheng had his eyes locked onto him the whole time. Although he didn't see what the new dealer did when he placed his hand onto the cup, his ears could faintly pick up the sound of the dice rolling once inside. That meant, the result Su Cheng previously predicted had been scrambled by this person. "Place your bet." The guy looked at Su Cheng and smiled. Su Cheng began thinking, and the 24 gamblers at this table began waiting for him to place his bet. But, Su Cheng decided to give up, because even if he accurately calculated the result, who knew whether the new dealer would press some button and shake up the dice inside the cup. By then, Su Cheng would have already placed his bet and wouldn't be able to take it back. Dice is getting boring, I'm going to play something else. Su Cheng left the table with his 20,000 or so yuan of chips. The others were all dumbfounded for a second, and some people immediately surrounded him and asked, "Then do you think it's big or small this time?" Su Cheng knew that the result inside the cup was big again, but if everyone here placed their bets on big, then the dealer would for sure use his trick and flip the dice to something else. "So," he said loudly so everyone could hear, "maybe it's small." Shen Yao had been ridiculed by Su Cheng several times this evening, and she felt that Su Cheng's karma points and luck should be running out already. It should be time for her to correctly predict the answer and perfectly conclude today's gambling journey. Immediately, she coughed and said, "He won 7 times in a row already, maybe he doesn't have the confidence to win the 8th time as well. I predict that it's actually big this time too." Then, she placed all of her 50,000 yuan worth of chips which she just exchanged in the area that's betting on big. It turned out, the 24 gamblers straight up ignored her and all bet on small. The result inside that box was actually big, but the dealer believed Su Cheng and thought that the result was small. Seeing that over 24 of gamblers with a total of over 500,000 yuan placed their bets on small, the dealer immediately pressed a small button, and the dice on the inside quietly rolled a few times, propelled by the magnetic core installed inside the dice. Su Cheng, who had his back against the table and was ready to leave, faintly smiled and lit a cigarette. "Open." The cup was lifted, revealing a 1 and 4, which was small. Shen Yao's eyes became wide open, and the dealer's face paled as if he saw a ghost. Su Cheng turned to the dealer and smirked before walking away. Shen Yao immediately went up to Su Cheng and kept on nagging, "You weren't relying on luck at all, why didn't you tell me from the beginning? I lost so much money." She was quite angry. She was doing all kinds of analyses in front of the others but was face-slapped every single time. Now she knew that Su Cheng's performance tonight had nothing to do with luck. He really knew how to gamble. Gambling is a pursuit of excitement from chasing the unknown. If I told you, then it wouldn't be fun anymore. Su Cheng smiled. "Bullshit, I rather win money than pursue that kind of excitement." "Hey, but how did you guess the result?" Right after she spoke, her expression changed as if she had an epiphany, and she blurted it out, "Could it be, you can read minds?" Su Cheng wanted to slap the remaining IQ out of her. "Isn't mind reading for people? You think the dice have minds that I can read?" Su Cheng could use his hearing to listen for dice, so he could only find another table playing dice. However, just as he sat down, that dealer from earlier followed him to the table like a piece of gum stuck to his foot. Su Cheng got up and went to another table, and that bastard came over again and took the place of the original dealer at the table. Oh man, this guy was probably responsible for stirring up shit for Su Cheng for the rest of the night. "Why are you scared of him?" Shen Yao could tell Su Cheng was purposely avoiding that dealer, so she asked in curiosity. "He has a specially manufactured dice cup. If my guess isn't wrong, there's a magnetic core installed in each of the dice. The principles of the positive and negative pole can cause the dice to roll and change the result with a switch." Shen Yao's eyes widened, "They are that shameless?"